Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today's going to be a story time about the time that I almost got kidnapped. And again, this is not clickbait. So let's get started. So today's story is about how I almost got kidnapped. And it starts back to when I turned 18. I turned 18, I was really determined. I was like, I'm going to get a car, I'm going to get a job, I'm going to get my own place, and I want to get it now. And I was really, really determined. And the thing about me is that when I have something in my mind, I will make it happen, you know? And so I was like, the first thing I need to do is get a job. So I looked around and I was fortunate enough to be able to get a job that was about a mile from my house where I lived at the time. So I was like, this is perfect. For the meantime, I could walk. And I did. So I started this job. The thing about this job is that it was night shift. So it started at 10 and it got off at 6:30 a.m. So imagine, right? I was walking every day to that job a little before 10. It was pitch black and I would be off, you know, early morning. So I did this for a couple months, you know, and then the day that it all changed was the day that I saw that somebody was following me. So one day I got off. It was like 6:30 a.m. or ish, you know, a little bit later. And I was walking home, and I don't know, at that point I thought it was safer to walk in the houses. That way I can like run and knock on somebody's door if something happened instead of going on the main street. I don't know, that was my reasoning at the time. So I remember walking through the houses one day and I saw a white van follow me, like typical kidnapper van, follow me unmarked, and it was going hella slow. And I noticed it. I noticed everything. Like my eyes see it all. So I was like, oh, this van is just going way too slow for my liking. And so I noticed it and I started speeding up because I was like, I don't know what the hell they're doing, but let me get up out of here. And I would go, but that every turn that I made, they would follow me. So I was like, oh, see, you ain't about to catch me slipping. So I was like, I got to get away from them. I got to duck and dodge. But at that point, I wasn't in a part where I could like really slip away so easily. It was like a straight street. So what I did was I was like, let me get in front of somebody's house. So I got far enough away that they couldn't see me. And I went and I remember running in front of somebody's front house, like the front door. And they had a bush in front of their front door. And I remember getting behind, like crouching behind their bush. And I had fucking neon pink scrubs on because I was a caregiver. So I was like, they could see this shit from a mile away. There's no way that they can't see this. So I had to literally crawl on the ground and lay on the dirt. And I literally try to hide myself as best as possible. And I could see them too. Like they eventually drove past me. And I don't know if y'all remember that scene from Friday where like they were behind the palm tree and like trying to creep around because the van was like looking for them. That's exactly how I was. I was like on the ground and here's the van like passing me. And I was like, hell no. So they ended up passing me and I waited a little bit of time and I got the fuck out of there. I was like, hell no. Mind you, this was my Friday. So I had to go to work in the few days. I was off for a few days. And I was like, by my Monday, I'm going to get a car because this will never happen to me again. Never. And so the thing about it was that I did not have a freaking license. I did not have a license. Number two, I didn't know how to drive. I was learning at the time, but I didn't know how to drive. I had my permit, but that's it. So I was like, I don't know how I'm going to pull this off, but when I get determined, I'm pretty unstoppable. You can't tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. You couldn't tell me that by Monday I wasn't going to have a car. So I was like, you know what? Let me look anyway. And I specifically targeted those hole-in-the-wall places that had just there wasn't a dealer. It was like the ones you find on the side of the road. I was like, I could probably get away with some maneuvering here if I go to those places and they're not going to ask for that much. If you pay cash, they're really not going to ask. So that's what I did. I went and I found a place and I found a car. I found it really quick. I ended up getting a ride and I found this car. It was whatever. It was a Saturn. I don't know if y'all know Saturns, but it ended up being a lemon too, but at the time it was everything. It was my everything I wanted, and so I ended up putting on the paperwork. A little birdie told me that on the permit number is actually going to be your driver's license number. And so I put that number on the paperwork to show like I had my license, but I really didn't. And then I gave them my ID, and they didn't even question it. I did not ask no questions. I really didn't give a fuck. I had to get a car. So they didn't ask, and I didn't say nothing. I just did that. And you know what? I'm not condoning that. If you want to try that, do it. But it works. It worked for me, so I can only speak from my experience, but that shit worked. And so I ended up driving off the lot with that car. And it only took me a weekend, and I had my car, exactly what I wanted. So by Monday, I drove to work. And so the takeaway from all this is that, ladies, I know it's probably men too, I'm not gonna, exclude the men from this, but I hear a lot of stories about women getting harassed, getting followed. So I'm mostly speaking to the women when I say this. If you have to walk alone, please be aware of your surroundings. If you're walking through the hood at 10 p.m., obviously I wouldn't recommend it. Or if it's 5 a.m., 6 a.m., wouldn't recommend that either. And nowadays they have Uber or Lyft. So if you can, get an Uber or Lyft. Do not walk by yourself, because it ain't safe out here. It ain't safe. It ain't safe. I also would suggest, if you ever have to walk somewhere alone, please get like a pepper spray or a little knife. Don't go out with nothing. And to be honest, on this story, when I was walking, I had no knife, I had no pepper spray, I had nothing. So, it really wasn't safe out there for me. So I would recommend you carry something. And also share your location. Nowadays, with iPhones at least, you can share your location with people. So I would suggest sharing the location with a friend or a family member or your boyfriend or girlfriend, so that they always know where you're at. Even if you go somewhere and you want to be safe, share your location. Because it really helps if something happens, somebody be like, no, I know they were supposed to be at, X location, and I don't see them there. It's just safe to cover all tracks and have that. And I would just say, another takeaway from this is that sometimes life, it has a way of working for you. It always works for you, to be honest, if you have that perspective and you're looking at it in that way. But to me, since I've looked at it like that, I've always seen that life works for me. And in this instance, what I feel like what happened for me is that I needed a car, and I wanted it as soon as possible. And unfortunately, I had to get followed, but what I saw was that it kind of sped up the process, and it helped me to get a car sooner rather than later. So it really put a fire under my ass, and it helped me kind of get on that and get a car, and I got it. And so, I would just suggest, if anything happens to you, I would always look at it and like, what is this trying to teach me? What is this trying to help me with? And I guarantee you'll find something positive that it was trying to help you to get to or to learn. So I was okay. I did not get snatched up. Although I was scared at the time. So just remember those things. Be safe out there, and always have that kind of perspective, and you'll be okay. So I hope you like this story. If you did, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye.